Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2023-2024 Ocean City High School graduation ceremony. The rites of passage are the rituals and formalities that not only celebrate the individual and honor their growth, but also provide the essential context and preparation that leads each person from one phase of life to the next. They establish solidarity and sacredness of common values. The graduation ceremony, which has been a long-standing practice, began in the 12th century with scholastic monks dressed in robes. The outfit that signifies a graduate is the traditional cap and gown. Academic dress for graduations appeared in the 13th century when scholars were forced to stay warm by wearing long robes with hoods because of insufficient heating, which is not a problem today. As a result, gowns were made the official attire of academics. The graduation cap also has roots in this time period. It became popular in the 14th and 15th centuries and was worn by artists and students to signify superiority and intelligence. Additionally, the style of the graduation hat has also varied throughout time. The one most familiar today is the square. Stiff hat developed in the 16th century at Oxford University. Many feel the square hat represents the mortarboard of the master worker. The use of a tassel adorning the graduation cap started as a decoration. However, over the last 50 years, the gesture of moving the tassel from the right side to the left symbolizes an individual's movement from candidate to graduate. My tassel, and that of all the faculty today, is already on the left because we have made that transition. We thank the United States Naval Academy for the tradition of throwing caps. In 1912, newly commissioned graduates were given officers' hats. To show appreciation and joy, they tossed their midshipman covers into the air to commemorate the momentous occasion. As the graduating students of high schools, colleges, and universities march in academic procession on commencement day to Elgar's pomp and circumstance, they too wear the regalia of this long-standing practice. And the title of the music that our band is about to play, Pomp and Circumstance, has a title that is meaningful. Pomp is a Greek word, pimple, and it means I send. In Latin, it became the word pompa, which means I send out in victory, a victory procession. And circumstance means standing around in a great circle. Circumsto is the Latin word. And we are in a circle here today. We're standing in a great circle, sending out our students, our graduates, in victory. During the processional, our administration and faculty also wear caps and gowns with distinctive features. Their hoods are lined with an assortment of colors, signifying various degrees, majors, and schools from which they have attained their highest achievements. The most popular color, however, is light blue, which represents education. The high school cap and gown have also changed to reflect the colors of each individual school. You'll notice some schools don gold and silver tassels or cords, signifying distinguished honors and achievements. A number of students will also wear blue collars, which represent their membership in the National Honor Society. We ask that during the ceremony, all spectators in the bleachers remain seated and considerate of those around them. We also respectfully request that all cell phones be silenced. In a few moments, the graduates and faculty will process into the stadium. The conclusion of the ceremony will include a recessional into the cafeteria. Please remain in the stadium area until the graduates return. The practice of celebrating the triumphs of others makes us feel good about ourselves. For all of us here who celebrate the success of these high school students, certainly have had some degree of influence on their lives. As our society recognizes the customs and cultures that have come to be a part of America, the long-established high school graduation ceremony is a constant reminder of the value we place on American education. Seniors, your perseverance, determination, and notable accomplishments continue to make Ocean City High School a very special place. Our wish for each of you is to take what is good, what is kind, and what is just, and put these qualities into every decision you make, regardless of the path you have chosen. Walk confidently into the future and take all you have learned throughout the last 12 years to live a purposeful and meaningful life. Members of the Ocean City Board of Education, administrators, teachers, parents, family members, and friends, it is my true and distinct pleasure to introduce to you the class of 2024.
You may be seated. Welcome. On behalf of the Board of Education, Interim Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Terrence Crowley, and the faculty and staff of Ocean City High School, it is my honor as principal to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the Ocean City High School class of 2024. A special welcome is extended to our Board of Education President, Mr. Kevin Barnes, and Vice President, Mr. Christopher Halliday, the Mayor of Ocean City, Mr. Jay Gillian, and to all of our dignitaries from our sending school communities, including the local officials, superintendents, and principals who are in attendance today. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you this afternoon as we celebrate the culmination of your high school journey. Graduation marks a significant rite of passage, a moment that symbolizes your hard work and dedication. Today, we honor your achievements and look forward to the bright futures that are ahead for each of you. Over the past 4 years, you have grown and transformed in countless ways. You entered high school as an eager freshman, filled with curiosity and a bit of uncertainty about what lay ahead. Now, you stand before us as confident, capable young adults ready to take on the world. Your time in high school has not been without challenges. There have been moments of doubt and perhaps a few setbacks along the way. But through it all, you have demonstrated remarkable perseverance and resilience. These qualities will serve you well as you move forward into the next chapter of your lives. You have explored new subjects with rigorous coursework, developed passions, and uncovered talents you didn't even know you had. Whether it was excelling in the classroom, shining on the stage, or making a difference on the playing field, each of you has found your unique path and made your mark on this school community. Remember these moments of discovery and let them guide you as you continue to explore your interests. To the parents and families, thank you. Thank you for your unwavering support, your collaboration, and your encouragement. Your guidance, love, and sacrifices have been instrumental in helping our graduates reach this milestone. To the faculty and staff, your dedication and passion have inspired and guided our students, helping them to realize their potential and achieve their goals. And to you, our graduates, I want to express how incredibly proud we are of each and every one of you. You have shown strength, resilience, and compassion. As you step into the future, remember to carry these qualities with you. Pursue your dreams with determination, treat others with kindness, and never stop learning or growing. In closing, I'd like to share a quote from Nobel Prize-winning author Anatole France. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. As you leave Ocean City High School and venture into the next step in your career, trade training, college education, or even military service, know that you have the power to shape your path. Embrace the journey with confidence and courage, for the world is waiting for your unique contributions. And I have no doubt that this class of 2024, will leave their mark of success along the way. Thank you for sharing your 4 years with us. Thank you. I now invite the senior members of the choir and the ASL club to come forward. Graduates, please rise. Guests, please rise and remove your hats. And all, please join me in welcoming our color guard to the ceremony as they present our flags in the saying of our Pledge Allegiance. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? The land of the free and the home of the brave.
Retire the colors.
You said there'd be a piano, so I was confused.
Gentlemen, we thank you for your service. Please be seated for the singing of the alma mater and this year's senior song, Journey On.
And cares of life around us press. One thing will live within each heart, the glory of OCHS. Then loud the chorus we will sing, our voices filled with thankfulness and praise to Alma bring. Loud acclaim, and loud acclaim, OCHS. Journey on, my friend, we will surely meet again. As time moves on, keeps rolling along, we will write our own stories. Beauty lives in you, joy in all you do. Take time to see the joy of peace that our world needs. Rise, little star, see all the places we dreamed of before. We'll be free as the breeze. Write our own stories. We'll journey on.
Please join me in recognizing Mr. Craig Martin, our music director, Dr. Brian Skeeper, our choir director, Miss Amy Anderson, our American Sign Language teacher, and our students for their wonderful performance here today. I would like to introduce James Swan to offer the welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. O'Neill. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, friends and family, and my fellow graduates of the class of 2024. It is my pleasure to address you today during this graduation ceremony. I know how hard you have all worked to be here. Students putting in great effort through 4 years of high school, teachers leading the way for us to find success during our time here, and parents trying desperately to get here early enough to find a good parking spot. No matter how we arrive to this ceremony, we are all here for one purpose: to celebrate the achievements of this wonderful class of students before you. As we reach the end of our career at Ocean City High School, I would like to take a moment to look back at the end of our middle school career. Approaching the final months of our experience at those schools, excitement and uncertainty filled our heads. We had already selected our classmen for freshman year, but who knew what high school would really be like? Who would we become? Right as we were on the verge of launching into this period of exploration and growth, the world shut down. Now, after 4 years of talking about COVID, I'm sure you don't need me to explain what happened. And honestly, I hope for all of our sakes, this is the last you ever hear about it. But it bears repeating in this case, because we, as the class of 2024, had an experience with the pandemic that no year before or after shares. Schools shut down just as we were entering high school, which turned our launch towards exploration into more of an awkward stumble. We were locked out of a typical high school experience for almost 2 years. Instead of being able to make connections with new and existing friends freely, we instead had to hope that they had the right last name for our cohort. Many iconic high school events were modified or canceled altogether for safety concerns. It felt like our time was being taken away from us. So, as we prepare to move into the next chapter of our lives, my invitation to you is to go take your time back. Go find the friends you wish you could make your freshman year. Go participate in the events that you wish they didn't have to cancel. Now that we know how quickly our time can get away from us, I encourage you to always make the most of it. At the end of our middle school career, we did not know who we would become. However, I know that through our high school career, we have grown into people that would make our middle school selves proud. Now is the time to make yourselves proud again. Think about who you want to become and make the decisions that will take you there, no matter what your path is. I am confident that as we use the lessons learned here in Ocean City High School, we can make the most of the time we've been given and become the best versions of ourselves. Thank you.
Graduation is a special celebration. We commemorate the end of high school and the beginning of many new pursuits. Here at Ocean City, we have a special tradition of honoring our alumni. Each year, we recognize the alumni that graduated 50 years ago. Today, we are honored to have with us members of the class of 1974. At this time, I will call their names and ask the alumni to stand and remain standing until all have been called. Please hold your applause as we will show our appreciation after everyone has been recognized. Mr. Al Baker, Mrs. Nancy McHugh, Mrs. Janice Dysart Smith, Mrs. Nancy Keenan Larrabee, Mrs. Gretchen Booth Morris and Christopher Morris, Mrs. Betsy Beacott Bird, Mrs. Patricia Camp Wires, Mrs. Donna Whitmer Wright and Jim Wright, Mrs. Bonnie Hetrick Zatko, Mr. Michael Chapman, Mrs. Beth Stoller Guglielmo, Mr. Frank Unger, Mrs. Betsy Adams Dutton, Mrs. Karen Crockford, Mr. Ronald Young, Mr. Larry Morgan, Mrs. Joanne Cherry, Mr. John Andrews, Mrs. Robin Ritter Gatto and Frank Gatto, Mr. Rick Austin and Deb Austin, Mr. Walter Brunetti and Diane Brunetti, Mr. Robert Adams, Mrs. Sharon DeAugustine Wires and Jimmy Wires, Mrs. Gretchen Booth Morris, Mrs. Donna Young Felmy, Mrs. Sarah Belcher Zweigenbaum, Mrs. Donna Techner Fear, Mr. Joe Patterson, Mr. Scott Halliday, Mr. Chris Raymond, Mrs. Aileen Dickerson Milligan, Mrs. Susan Woolley Mullins, Mr. Ben Pauling, Mr. Larry Bollock, Mr. Scott Molinari, the class of Ocean City High School of 1974. At this time, I call on Jackson Barnes to offer the farewell address.
Thank you, Dr. O'Neill, and good afternoon, everyone. Today celebrates our collective experience and should remind us that no one goes through life alone. The fact that we sit about 600 feet from breaking waves is significant beyond aesthetics. Our barrier island lifestyle has equipped us to brave the unpredictable. Responding to shifting tides has taught us attentiveness, while flooding and hurricane destruction have equipped us with the willingness to adapt and the fortitude to rebuild. Establishing permanence on an ever-shifting island requires its residents to consider the uncontrollable. However, enduring this reality toughens us. Now, on the verge of leaving, we should take stock of our islander status, exploring the origin of our keen senses of preparedness, adaptability, and reflection. Not only can we attribute these traits to this island, but to this very school as well. OCHS's history demonstrates its alignment with these ideals by changing locations 3 times in its century-long existence. 1904, 1923, and 2004 are etched into the bricks of our school's entrance, inspiring us each morning to tap into our resilient backgrounds and the influences of others who have gone before us. We thrived in a dynamic educational climate with the help of long-admired teachers and institutions aware of our unique surroundings. Under unprecedented circumstances, we reclaimed our education by participating in Zoom breakout rooms and modified classroom activities. We traversed the uncharted waters of evolving leadership, new policies, and schedule changes that made each school year unlike the other, all while remaining focused. Whether leading nearly undefeated sports seasons, capturing the beauty of humanities through visual and performing arts, executing record-breaking clothing drives, or reviving the Mr. OCHS competition, our class has facilitated memorable lived experiences. We have proven ourselves wiser because of our environment, capable of adapting independently and collectively. Yet, despite making the most of these challenges, some of us, myself included, fear the future like a looming storm cloud. For 18 years, we yearned to broaden our familiar horizons. Now, with the ability to choose our new landscapes, freedom may ironically feel paralyzing. Perhaps we are second-guessing our choices or worrying about all of the unknown variables in our lives. But I take solace in what we've learned here. Our environment prepared us to move our cars to avoid floodwaters or to train at home when saturated fields canceled our practices. Now that we have choices, like deciding our majors or searching for employment, we can leverage our adaptive aptitudes to better our new communities, rather than merely to survive. This looks like encouraging important discussions and advocating for inclusivity. As we know, the realities of the real-world small-mindedness can halt this progress, but do we succumb to beach erosion or rusty bike chain guards? No, we adapt. By reflecting on who we are and who we want to be, we gain the strength to reject the fear accompanying this transition and channel our passions into action. This mindset will heighten our potential, so let's embrace our choices, continue to self-reflect, and grow from our seaside experiences. Like Ocean City's shifting tides, we too ebb and flow in an effort to discover ourselves. Although we cannot etch 2024 into OCHS's facade, our class perhaps best demonstrates what it means to be the school's alumni. Our experience was unprecedented, but like this school's history and this island, we have stood strong on shifting ground. Before we set our sails for unpredictable seas, I invite you to feel in this moment. Cry with your friends and teachers, blast nostalgic hits in your car, craft sentimental picture dumps. These emotions are manifestations of saying goodbye to a meaningful place in each of our histories. But be assured that our experience was more than something to reminisce about fondly. Our geography has uniquely equipped us with the foresight to assess our environments and make informed decisions. Our experience showed us that to evolve, we must lean on one another, trust one another, and respect one another. So, as we voyage towards realizing our potentials, I know we will bear positivity in our chosen spheres, bettering ourselves and our communities. Congratulations, class of 2024. Always continue to learn from your environment.
Thank you, Jackson. Members of the Board of Education, parents, friends, staff, and honored guests. The members of the class of 2024 have met all requirements for a high school diploma as set forth by the Board of Education, New Jersey Administrative Code Title 6A, and New Jersey Statute Title 18A. Therefore, it is my pleasure to present and recommend the distinguished members of the class of 2024 to Interim Superintendent, Mr. Terrence Crowley.
Mr. Barnes, and members of our Board of Education, Mayor Gillian and members of the City Council, Dr. McCartney, Dr. Angelillo, representatives from the Upper Township Board of Education, Board President Barbieri, Superintendent Pesolano, and Business Administrator Ryan, distinguished guests, faculty, fellow administrators, parents, relatives, friends, and graduates. I'm truly honored to be here this evening. I'm honored to play a role in your graduation, and I'm honored to watch you receive your diplomas. But most of all, I'm honored that all of you people came here this evening just to hear me say a few words. That's fantastic. Thank you for coming. My guess is that all of us here have been to other graduations, and the speakers at these events share with the graduates 15 reasons why you're fortunate to be here, or 10 reasons what the secret of life is. Well, I'm afraid if you're like me, you started the countdown around number 4, and you hoped the guy would finish quickly. That's what I'm going to do for you, because I only have 2 thoughts to share with you. First, Woody Allen said 80% of success in life is showing up. But Henry David Thoreau added to that and said, build your castles in the air. That's where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. Think about those concepts, and they really seem very, very simple and obvious. But it means more than just getting there and standing around. It means getting there on time. It means being prepared in all activities, whether they be athletics, academics, social interactions, or the workplace. If you're there, standing there, not doing anything, you won't be standing there for long. Preparation means practice, repetition, and then more practice. Just think about the successes that you have had here at high school. What did you do to achieve that? You thought, you planned, you practiced, you arrived on time, by the way, and you executed. I bet you didn't, just the times that you didn't succeed, you got there and said, oh boy, I'm not ready for this. Whether it was a test, whether it was practice at a football field, whether it was in the band or the choir, you had to be prepared and you had to be there on time. Showing up is great, but without that solid foundation of practice and repetition, you will not succeed. The second reality is that everything we do, we are accountable for, even if we did not mean to do it. Have you ever started a task, follow it to the end, and got that reward? That's being accountable. How about when you didn't do something and you got that criticism, or the teacher told you you didn't pass? That's also accountability. And we learn more from the negatives sometimes than the positives. But don't be one of those people who blame someone else for their errors. There's an old defense, it's called the SODI defense, S-O-D-D-I. And people use it all the time when they got caught doing something wrong. You don't know what it stands for, but I'll tell you. Some other dude did it. Don't blame the other people. Accept the responsibility for your actions, and you'll succeed. In every aspect of life, those who are respected, admired, and recognized are truly accountable for their actions and their words. Not just in public, but in private. And that's how we develop our character. If you do something that's not right, be the first one to say, I messed up, and this is how I'm going to fix it. Now, the only thing standing between you and these diplomas is me. But I just thought of one more thing. For the last couple of weeks, excuse me, I've been spending a lot of time in our primary school. It's really neat to watch the little guys in the classrooms, in their hallways. And they're always happy. They're always friendly. They're always polite. And I asked one of the teachers about that, and she told me that we always work on manners and politeness. You all experienced that years ago, and I've seen it in the high school daily. But tonight, what I'd like you to do is to show your teachers, your parents, and your friends how well you learned that lesson. Now, you didn't practice this, but I know you're resilient. I'd like the whole class to stand up, please. Okay, and repeat after me. To all my teachers, to my parents, to my friends, and everyone who's helped me, thank you very much. And wave to them. You guys, I'll tell you, that's why you're the best, because you did it without practice. Have a seat. Now, this ceremony is sometimes called graduation, but it's really a commencement. And that means the beginning of a new chapter in your life, regardless of where you go. Just remember to show up, be prepared, and say please and thank you. You'll make us proud, and you'll make you proud. Congratulations, and thank you for all you've done for Ocean City High School. And Dr. O'Neill, on behalf of the Ocean City Board of Education, I accept your recommendation that these seniors have completed all of the requirements for graduation as established by the state of New Jersey and by the Ocean City Board of Education, and are entitled to these diplomas given here this evening. Congratulations, class. Thank you very much.
I would like to introduce our assistant principals, Mr. Nicholas Bailey and Mr. Jerry Brown, along with Mrs. Christine Barnes and Mr. Dane Tabano, for the presentation of the diplomas.
Graduation speaker, Jackson Latham Barnes. Mally James Alexander. Alexis Bryn Allegretto. Jax Kimberly Allison. Taylor Bell Amstutz. Emily Elizabeth Anton. Brandon Patrick Argo. Andrew Joel Arias. Jonathan Scott Arsenault. Gary Zahit Avila Florentino. Christina Maria Bacala. Kate Elizabeth Bacala. Giovanna Ray Barbado. Christiana Paige Bauer. Litzy Bautista Marino. Daniel Bailey Beard. Elise Alexandra Becker. Samantha Ariana Beckman. Callie Deborah Belwar. Kieran Thomas Bender. Liliana Faith Beningo. Brendan Dennis Bergman. Brighton Faye Bird. Sophia Riley Bishop. Aaron James Bliss. Lola James Bourgeois. Colin Ellerly Bowman. Chelsea Christine Bowman. Bridget Riley Breeden. Chloe Lynn Bridgeford. Delaney Ryan Brogan. Jack Finn Brogan. Eric Scott Brown. Valentina Carmen Buono. James Kikuzaki Burke. Madeline Reese Burnett. Ryan Joseph Callahan. Jake Charles Kalari. Caitlin Janet Calloway. Rachel Sophia Canonica. Aaron Lee Cantwell. Jonah Liam Carberry. Michael James Carr. Marley Jane Chirello. McKenna Blair Chisholm. Manashita Manalova Chowdhury. Yakin Mahbub Chowdhury. Konstantinos Alexander Christensen. Aviana Teresa Cristiano. Connor Christian Clark. Skylar Joy Cohen. Bria Gabrielle Candela. Madison Rose Conti. Kelsey Elizabeth Cook. Emma Rose Corey. Catherine Grace Casaboon. Lauren Elizabeth Costine. Ian Richard Crowley. Melanie Cruz Gill. Patrick John Cupid. Sophia Nicole Curtis. Malia Lynn Doms. Simon Michael Davies. Alexis Kirsten Deaver. Joshua Matthew Deegan. German Martinez de Jesus. Breland Alexia Del Beato. Lola Marie DeMarco. Anna Elizabeth Derrickson. Nyla Sarah Derrickson. Reagan Elizabeth DeVlieger. Wesley James Densmore Dice. Charles Vincent DeChico. Dylan Thomas Dooley. Alexandra Catherine Doherty. Brandon James Douglas.
Nico K. Danulis. Charles Edward Drain. Danius Lucas Dragotis. Kenzie Noel Driscoll. Juliana Sky Duff. Ethan Gabriel Dunn. Madison Michaela Dwyer. Olivia Rose Eggy. Dylan Michael Elko. Jenna Elizabeth Ellis. Brianna Marie Faby. Stephen Angelo Finelli. Talon Matthew Fisher. Mackenzie Elizabeth Fortna. Erin Catherine Fredericks. Samantha Brooke Friedlander. Christopher Fuentes Zarati. Haley Elizabeth Fury. Benjamin Matthew Gallagher. Larissa Veronica Gallen. Brian Daniel Garabrand. Jackson Kemp Gajewski. Christopher Charles Gaiman. Tyler Ryan Geisler. James Robert Gilchrist. Carly Elizabeth Gleason. Nolan Ryan Goggins. Justin Lee Gooden. Sarah Michelle Grouchuk. Liam Werner Goucher. Jessica Lucy Grand Mason. Carl Jerome Grant. Gwendolyn Rose Gray. Julia Christine Gray. Presley Marie Green. Patrick William Grimley. Dean Russell Grodziak. Paul Duke Gunther. Ethan Edward Geist. Daniel David God. Olivia Rose Guy. Evan Matthew Hack. Luke St. John Halbrunner. Zion Abdul Hamilton. Ryder Hamilton Hay. David William Heap. Tayton Kane Heap. Kara Ruth Hender. Joshua Jungmin Heng. Brooke Emerson Heritage. Athena Abigail Hines. Matthew Joseph Hoffman. Walter James Holmes. Chloe Ann Howard. Wade Paul Hudak. Matthew Thomas Innocente. Sophie Emily Jackson. Shane Anthony Jacobs. Matthew John Russell James. Matthew Allen Jefferson. Mason William Johannesson. Jordan Roy Carby. Ariana Carey Kammer. Piper Kasmark. Julia Ann Keach. Eiley Rose Kelly. Daniel Yuchan Kim. Yakub Yosef Klimchek. Konstantinos Kunis. Charles Dante Labar. Chasten Brody Labar. Cole Mitchell Labar. Tyson Drew Lagania. Anthony Joseph Lamana Jr. Morgan Melise Lancaster. Zoe Justine Lappin. Dustin Joseph Larrix. Dylan Edwin Lachlan. Kieran William Lawton. Nicholas John Layton.
Daniel Ryan Lizer. Emma Lynn Lamont. Matthew John Lenko. Hayden Beach Lennox. Graduation speaker, James Victor Swan. Livia Hudson Leonetti. Zachary Stephen Lex. Abigail Elizabeth Leipold. Aiden Kenneth Leipold. Kai Ian Lindsay. Lindsay Jordan Locker. Atia Lynn Loesch. Rebecca Ann Long. Sarah Ashley Lewis. Alessandra Gracia Lucasti. Sean Patrick Lyons. Liam Richard MacDonald. Arvin Jonah Madden. April Rose Majewitz. Lily Bell Mamely. Jasmine Michelle Marino Forster. William Hugh Marple. Grayson Kalitsky Marshall. Annika Juris Martin. Jonathan Michael Martin. Joshua Robert Martin. Ella Lucia Mashura. Gregory Carlton Mason. Aiden James Masters. Vivian Gianna Moucher. Ashla Elizabeth Christensen Cadalzo Maza. Gianna Lauren Mazzoni. Caitlin Elizabeth McAllister. Anna Juliet McCabe. Christopher Robert McCarthy. Brielle Carolina McDowell. Angelina Maria McMenamin. Jacob Michael Malini. Mohammed Ahmed Metwali. Gianna Nicole Molinari. Kira Lenny Moryakovs. Carmia Redding Morris. Arlo Elizabeth Morris. Madison Ryan Morris. Jonathan Joseph Moyer. Ava Lauren Muller. Emily Abigail Mullins. Ryan Foster Mulraney. Matthew James Murray. Julia Isabel Neff. Robert Edward Neville. Lowen Scott Newman. Kaylee Lynn Newton. Ashley Elizabeth Nichols. Angelina Marie Ocello. Osfer Oropesa Mozo. Olivia Rose Otten. Grant Joseph Overbeck. Brady James Oves. Marcus Painter Jr. Timothy Robert Palermo. Felix Palmer. Michael Jeffrey Palmer. Mia Elizabeth Pancoast. Matthew Daniel Pashley. Landon Gregory Peak. Simon Purvis. Miranda Robin Peterson. Jaden Edward Phillips. Gracie Bergen Pierce. Rachel Fujing Palero. Vincent Anthony Pereno. Christopher Andrew Pelosis. Reese Ann Powell. Noah Timothy Quinn.
Ella Olivia Quinton. Miguel Angel Raphael. Jack Michael Reardon. Sophia Rebiki. Kira Elisa Riley. Jack Tyler Ricecheck. Ashley Madison Rhodes. Anthony Patrick Rubart. Gianna Maria Ripa. Francesca Danielle Ritzel. Olivia Francesca Roach. Benjamin Joseph Robbins. Lily Addison Robert. Robert Lee Rothman. Liana Natalia Rosa. Riley Shay Rosenberger. Madison Brielle Rossetti. Keegan Daniel Rothman. Garrett Corbin Rowand. Frank Hugh Ruba Jr. Casey William Ruff. Nikki Marie Rumaker. Chase William Russell. Joseph Michael Saylor. Jesus E. Solis Rodriguez. Roy Salukta. Haley Sabrina Scanlon. Samuel James Scarano. Lily Emma Scarborough. Georgia Marie Schaefer. Dylan Patrick Schlatter. Amber Mary Schlembach. Olivia Joy Schmidt. Matthew Ronald Schulte. Charles Joseph Schutter. Douglas Jacob Schwartz. Corey Michael Sedgwick. Lauren Elizabeth Shaw. Julia Elizabeth Simon. Jackson Chase Smith. Catherine Elizabeth Smith. Logan Conrad Smith. Stephen Edward Joseph Smith. Trista Marie Sparks. Anna Louise Stam. Andrew John Stauffer. Tracy James Steingard. Caitlin Doris Stell. Brandon Michael Stolfo. Antonio David Sopizzi. Delaney Lynn Sutley. Hannah Michelle Sutley. Trisha Gail Swingham. Thorne Oliver Swift. Lindsay Addison Tate. Grace Rose Tedesco. Jake William Thurlow. Marcus James Tosi Escher. Jason Lamar Turner. Olivia Joan Tyrell. Frankie Bruno Vi. Marissa Bella Valise. Owen Angus Vassar. Dakota Vega. Anthony Warren Videtto. Luke Thompson Wagner. Ava Paula Wall. Sean Michael Walls. Elijah Andrew Watson. Michael Martin Welsh. Sophia Eleanor Whalen. Corinne Ada Williams. Caleb Andrew Williams. Catherine Sarah Washell. John Robert Riggins. Kaya May Wright. Julia Maria Youngblood. Emma Grace Zentner.
I introduce to you now the senior class president, Sarah Lewis, to lead the turning of the tassels. So good for everything it's worth, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. O'Neill. The turning of the tassel signifies the authority of the Board of Education to grant the high school diploma.
There you go. Wait. It's coming. I swear they're coming. Go ahead. Do it. Ready? Wait, not yet. Do it. Go for it. There you go. Congratulations. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ocean City High School, class of 2024.
So, couple quick things. Great job. All right, another round. Who's ready? Yeah. James.